What is cherry-picking data and scientific method? Imagine you're trying to understand how a new medicine works, but you only look at the results that show it helping and ignore the ones that show no effect or even harm. That's a good example of cherry-picking data. It's when someone picks only the data that supports their idea and leaves out the rest. In science, the goal is to look at all the evidence, not just parts that fit a story. Cherry-picking happens when researchers or anyone selectively choose data that supports what they believe or want to prove. They might focus only on results that show a positive outcome and ignore data that doesn't. This can happen on purpose or by accident, but either way, it makes the findings unreliable. For example, a scientist might run an experiment with many measurements, but only report the few that seem to support their hypothesis. They leave out the many other results that don't fit. This creates a biased picture, making it look like the hypothesis is true when it might not be. In the context of science and belief, cherry-picking can be used to promote ideas that aren't fully backed by evidence. It can be tempting to highlight only the data that supports a certain belief, especially when trying to convince others. But science depends on honesty and looking at all the evidence equally. Practicing good science means analyzing all relevant data, even if it challenges your assumptions. It's about being open to changing your mind when new evidence appears. Cherry-picking undermines this process because it distorts the full story. It can lead to false conclusions and spread misinformation. In everyday life, it's important to question whether all the evidence is considered before accepting a claim. When you see someone presenting only positive results or ignoring contradictory data, it's a sign to be cautious. This is especially true when evaluating scientific claims or beliefs. By understanding cherry-picking, we can become better critical thinkers. We learn to ask questions like, is this data complete? Are they ignoring results that don't fit? Are they giving a full picture? This approach helps us avoid being misled by biased presentations of information. In the end, honest science depends on including all the evidence, not just the parts that support a specific view. Recognizing cherry-picking helps us stay grounded in reason and evidence-based understanding, which is essential for a rational worldview.